Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you. Yes.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
You could win one of 2 trips to see Banana Ball live. Purchase 2 Body Armor products, use Let's Go rewards, and you're entered to win. Right now, Body Armor is buy one, get one for $1 with Let's Go rewards. Start getting those entries in. Let's go.
Around here, toughness isn't talked about. It's lived.
Matt Wagner with the one-handed catch down.
Early mornings, late nights.
Going forward with Ford.
Work that doesn't make the highlight reel.
Same mindset, different uniform.
This is the blue-collar grit, earned, not given.
Tough days don't stop us. They build us.
McMillan shoots and scores.
For the workers who don't back down, Ford doesn't either.
Shannon fires.
Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RoadPaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
What's up, Bronco Nation? Happy Monday to you here at Bronco Nation News, bronconationnews.com. We're in the Sun Cruiser studios. Perfect weekend. Get some Sun Cruisers. Enjoyed some of those over the weekend. Looking forward to the championship game tonight. Brad Bedell, my St. Louis Blues, the best record in the NHL since the Olympic break. We're now just 3 points out of a playoff spot with 6 games to go. So I'm sporting the Blues hat today. Big win over the Colorado Avalanche last night. So I woke up in a good mood this morning. Cardinals won, Blues won. My parlay hit. It was a nice Sunday night for me. So I'm doing all right, man. How you doing, Brad?
I'm good. First, who cares about the Blues in the NHL? Second, you got 197 more baseball games to go, and the Cardinals
like 152 or something. But I took Cardinals are supposed to be terrible this year, so any win we get, I'm going to celebrate that. Who's your baseball? I know you're not a big baseball guy, but who would be your quote-unquote baseball team?
I don't even know.
Okay.
Padres. I'd say the Pods.
Okay.
I mean, I go to games there.
Okay, Padres. All right.
But I couldn't tell you the last time
I've randomly seen Rid at not one, but multiple Padres games while he's been recruiting down there, and I was just down there, happened to be down there, and he went a Padres-Cardinals game or something a couple years ago. I remember bumping into Rid. And,
you got nothing else to do.
Yeah, that was. I'm sure there were better. There were recruiting spots that some of you guys were eager to have that be your area. And then some that you some guys weren't crazy about fighting over some of the other spots. I'm sure some of I know it's quick in and out trips on recruiting. I'm sure the Hawaii one's actually probably not that desirable because it's a lot of travel for not a very long way. But I'm sure San Diego or SoCal or some of those might be better than some neighborhoods in Texas or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean that's why when I was in Arizona, I just drove down to Yuma for the day from Phoenix. I'm not staying in Yuma. I wake up at 5, get there by 7, start the meetings, and watch practice and get out.
Who was the Yuma kid that they had here? They had a lineman from Yuma, right? Or
well, we had a
is there a D lineman?
No,
or O-lineman,
the O lineman that we got was from Phoenix area.
They had one from Yuma, tight end or something. I know they've had a.
Yeah, well, Yuma is Pistone. He's out of Yuma.
Okay, that's right. There you go. Well, yeah, I don't know how.
I'm not hanging out in Yuma.
Not much to do there.
Roger
Carrion. There's all kinds of stories about Roger Carrion from Jal, New Mexico, where they have one stoplight in the town, and I mean it's crazy. You guys will go to. I would assume you'd rather recruit the guys where where you can have 10 guys on one trip or whatever. But if the guy lives in a small town and he's the guy you want, you'll do what it takes to get him, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why you do spring. You get a whole bunch of guys, evaluate them, ID the top 15 you want, and you go see them as many times as possible, which is the NCAA allows, and you get them or you don't.
Surf City Bill, do they even have grass on Yuma football fields?
Yes, it's sparse, but yes. I mean, it's so hot there, it's hard to get turf.
Yeah.
I mean, the stadium at Yuma JC was grass. No, it was grass. And the practice fields were grass.
They play on Romaine.
That's actually really good. Yuma's not exactly the hotbed, in my opinion.
All right. Well, I don't know. That was not the first 2 minutes of the show I was expecting to have when I made my rundown here, but you never know where we're going to go. But it's Monday. We got the national championship tonight in basketball. How's your bracket? Did you fill out a bracket, Brad?
Yeah, I'm alive. I got Michigan winning it.
Okay. My 8-year-old son actually has the best bracket in the family to this point, and he has Michigan tonight also. So my 8-year-old son, Nelly, has a chance to prove that he knows more about college sports than the rest of the family here. So he was excited this morning to hear that when I told him this.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah.
You weren't allowed to fill out a bracket. I guess you could fill it out. You just couldn't you couldn't enter a pool or anything, right? When you were coaching.
Yeah, I didn't even do that.
Yeah.
I didn't even do that. Ever since Coach Neuheisel got in trouble for that whole thing, I'm like,
oh yeah,
it ain't even worth it.
Someone's commenting on my hat. Yeah, nice little Blues got new colors this year. Little baby blue Blues hat, I like that. So I don't know, Brad. Hey, maybe road trip next Thursday. The Blues are playing in Utah. It's the final game of the season, and if a playoff spot's on the line, what do you say, Brad? I'll drive us down, buy some tickets. I'll buy the tickets and drive, and you can pay for the beers, and we'll watch some hockey on the final night of the regular season. What do you say?
I'm good.
You don't have any accounts down in Salt Lake area or something? Come on.
No, different dealer. Different sales rep has Salt Lake.
We can hit some Idaho high schools on the way down.
Yeah, we can hit up Kimberly and
Falls. Come on.
And Jerome. Hit them all. Raft River.
Hey.
Minico. We can get them all.
Hey, I know people want to crap on hockey, but I can promise you live hockey is better than watching it on TV.
I would agree with you there. I mean, I've grown up, I went to Kings games, but
there you go.
I just don't. I don't know. The rule changes to help the scoring situation, right? The old school icing every other 2 minutes was no fun.
Yeah.
And the pitch count and the pitch clock has helped baseball.
Oh yeah. And the challenge system. That's another story.
That's
I do
a whole
love that you
other
can now
issue.
challenge pitches and things. And I'm guessing in the next year or two, that'll just be every pitch.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about it next year because I don't think they're playing baseball.
Come on, don't get it's Monday morning. I'm in a good mood tonight. Don't get me down already. But yes, they're trending towards a lockout in Major League Baseball next year. But a lot to get to with Brad now that we're 6 minutes into the show and we've talked about nothing. We have the championship tonight in college basketball, Michigan and UConn. And then the transfer portal opens at midnight. So that has effect on Boise State, obviously. The basketball, they're trying to add some guys. I think you may today hear some more announcements about some guys that are staying. And then once midnight hits, I think you can start to hear about the guys that are coming in. It's funny, Brad, the portal doesn't open till midnight. Guys are not supposed to enter their name till midnight. Guys are not supposed to talk to other schools, have any idea who might want them, possibly till midnight. But there's already like several dozens, if not hundreds of kind of deals already pretty much done because the agent's talking to the church pastor who's talking to the brother of the coach and everybody else. And I know we've talked about this. And
that can't be true, though, because why do guys get in the transfer portal with a non-contact tag?
What do you mean?
You can get in the portal and it says do not contact. There's like a non-contact tag.
Well, there is, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying that technically, until you are in the portal, you're not supposed to be contacted by other schools.
That's my point. If you're getting in the portal and you have a non-contact tag and you already know you're going, don't tell me they haven't talked to the kid yet.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's usually following a coach that's going somewhere or whatever. But yes, that is one example. And yes, I would say another example is just a guy puts on Twitter that he's going to enter the portal when it opens, and then the floodgates open. They did this because they wanted to push it past the Final Four, so teams playing in the tournament didn't have to worry about it. So it was more a shorter, condensed period, more uniform, and all it's done is made it worse because it's been open the entire time, even though it wasn't officially open. And you're going to see schools start announcing all these deals tomorrow that it's like, how in the heck could they have talked to this kid and talked about this and done this and made the graphic and everything by tomorrow already? Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yes. Yeah. But with that said, Boise State should be hopefully, I mean, they've got 4, 5, 6 players to add. I do want to talk spring football, Brad, but the transfer portal, I know you have some big thoughts on the big picture college basketball or college football, college sports in general. It's in the news right now, obviously, because basketball, it opens tonight and there's going to be 2,000 plus players in the portal. Boise State's lost some key guys to the portal, going to be looking to add guys. Football, obviously lost Ty Field to the portal. Lost Andrew Simpson to the portal last year. Boise State had done a pretty good job of culture and the city and bleeding blue and family and every brotherhood and all this kind of winning out and hanging on to some of these guys. And they had less carnage, I guess you could say, in the big sports and a lot of other group of 5 schools. But that dam is starting to break here with, I mentioned, Ty Benefield. I mentioned on, a couple other guys, and then certainly on the basketball side. So what, I guess I got some specific questions, but big picture wise, we saw Donald Trump, put this executive order out there. Jeremiah Dickey, we mentioned when he was on, is part of this committee. I believe they met last week or something, is the first meeting. Might've been virtually, but they at least had a meeting, on that committee. So what are your thoughts on just where we're going? And I always get the timing. I don't remember exactly when you came in, and I know that it was just the biggest issue, I think, was they got rid of the one-time transfer rule literally a day away from NIL starting. And so both those bombs hit at the same time. But
right.
Big
So
picture wise, where are you on kind of where things are and what you'd like to see it kind of get back to? Because it's pretty crazy right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten it was a lot worse because this was unveiled, I believe, I'm almost in 2021, right, where they enrolled the portal and NIL came out at the exact same time. So now they boosted it coming out. The players are going to be able to use their name, image, and likeness, okay, to gain money. Makes sense to me. Makes perfectly sense to me. I think that's actually right. I mean, if a kid should get the benefit of jerseys or something like that on his name, image, and likeness, that immediately turned into pay to play. That was not what it was intended for, right? So then now they just let it go. Okay, we're just going to let it free reign. Here we go. You guys can leave however many times you want. We can give examples. TJ Finley's a great example of it. The quarterback.
Did you find a new spot yet?
No, now he's going to go to the draft because he was going somewhere else, and I have no idea what the hell the kid's doing. But he was going to 7th school in 7 years. That's not what this was intended for, right? So now it's free agency within the portal, okay? Now they're starting to rein it in, and we can start it with football because they went to, instead of 2 portal times, they went to 1 portal time. That, in my opinion, is a huge benefit. That is a step in the right direction because now the coaching staffs throughout the country in football, let's go football right now, is they have the roster. It's done. Okay, you know who you got in spring. You don't have to sit there on pins and needles during spring recruiting. Say, okay, who are we going to lose? Who are we going to possibly lose? Who can we get? And then you really don't know your roster until fall camp, right? Because the window is weird. With the change and whatever you want to look at in the executive order that is going to get sued to oblivion and all this. I understand that. I agree with the one-time transfer rule.
You get one for free. Where you
get
transfer
one
right
for
away.
free.
You don't have to sit out the first time. The second time, you have to use a redshirt year and sit out.
Redshirt year, sit out. But what it dodges or what's not addressed is the age-old graduation transfer rule, which that shouldn't go away either. In my opinion, if you have graduated from the institution that you went to, you have fulfilled the obligation of graduating from that institution. I think those players should be able to leave and have a free transfer to go start somewhere.
Even if that's the second one.
Even if it's the second one. Because This is why. Because I think you're going to have some of these kids, I don't want to pigeonhole everything, but some of these young men actually do care about academics. And let's say they want to get a master's in something that is particular to what they're dead set to do. If that institution does not have that master's program, I think they should have the free right to leave. I mean,
let's be honest, they manipulate that to find a degree that school doesn't have so they can leave. Like it does.
Fine, that's fine. Yeah, you got to play the game.
But no, I have no problem. I didn't see that listed there, but I have 100% no problem with that. You graduate, you have a degree in your hand, you still have eligibility left. You should be able to go. How are you on the 5 years to play 5 years?
I'm all for it. Ditch the redshirt years.
Okay.
Don't just they have 5 years to play.
Because by the way, it is pretty crazy, Brad. You think about this. I know everything kind of revolves around football and no one really cares about it. You know, they make the money. I get it. That's the main sport. But like you can, you know, they went to the 4 games, right? First it was, okay, now you can play 4 games. It doesn't count. I went back to, I think, Tua, right? Having to play for Alabama, like in the national championship game, hadn't played all year. They said you should get the 4 games. So they went 4 games. Then they said, okay, postseason doesn't count either. That was another one they added in, bowl games, playoff, all that. Do you know if you play, I mean, a lot of people probably know this, but you play 1 second of a basketball season, your year is gone. They have no rule like that in basketball or pretty much any other sport where you play 1 second of a regular season basketball game on the court and you that's your year. You're done.
Yeah, I think that's stupid. Why are we making things for different sports?
Yeah, I would have done. I always argued maybe non-conference
to be honest
season
with you,
at least, or something where you have a chance to play. If it's 30% of a football season, you should get 10 games for basketball then to see it early in the season. You know, if you're any good, there's different reasons. One, it was injuries. You don't want to burn a guy's season late in the year. I get it. Other one is let him play a couple games to see if he's worth playing the rest of the season, or see if are you going to play him in the second game because you think he might help you, then you realize he's not and you wasted his year. There's different layers to it, but I've never understood why football multiple times have gotten these rules added in. And for basketball, if you play, or any other sport pretty much in college, you play 1 second, you're done.
Which makes no sense to me on a longer season. No sense to me whatsoever. That's where, I mean, we can say there's this, there's that. No, it should be, hey, basketball's got 4 games too. And go back to your earlier point, is if your coach burns your year off of that, then I highly suggest that you leave, because you guys didn't even sit down and talk about it. I mean, you have to sit down. You're at 3 games. Let's say you're at 4 games. You play 1 more and you're out, right? I think go back to football with this. Bull, I believe Bull, the edge for Boise State, he played in the postseason, but I only think he played 3-4 games in the regular season and saved the year.
Ooh, I don't know about that. Maybe.
I don't know either. I was talking to somebody.
I thought he played more than that because he had a pretty good year, but I can check on that for their spring.
I did too, but I thought he played a lot in the championship, played in the championship game, and they played quite a bit in the bowl game. I thought they saved his year. I could be way wrong. But anyways, let's go back to this. This is where I agree with the 1 transfer rule, is because of this. A freshman is, wherever a young man goes, a freshman particularly, he's going to go. He's not going to be happy at the start. They think they are. They think they're so excited. I'm going to take the world by the horns, and I'm going to walk in and outwork everybody, and my skill set's better than everybody. I've heard all the conversations. I've had to talk them down. Like, I don't think you understand what you're getting into here. You try to tell them that, and you're as blatant as this is going to be the hardest thing of your life. This is going to be a long year. Yeah, I know, Coach. I work hard here, and we really work hard at X high school. And I get it, but it's not even comparable. Don't even try to even make this comparable. Oh, okay. In 1 ear, out the other. Well, guess what? About 2 weeks in, they'll stop by and go, I am really miserable. I don't know if I made the right decision. Okay, well, why'd you come to Boise State? Well, I came here because I love the football program. I like the coaches. I really like the players in the locker room. Okay, so why are you unhappy? This is really hard. Well, we talked about that. I'm homesick. We talked about that too. So now what's the first thing they can do? I'm transferring. I'm out. This is where you don't tell me he goes from Boise State to whatever university. They don't work hard. They don't do those things. So I would take it a step further and say you can't transfer until after your freshman year. You have to make the kids battle through it, because usually once the season starts, they settle in and everything turns out to be fine. You're going to lose a few here and there. I agree with you there. But if you're making a rash decision off the first 4 months of your college experience, then you're just not very bright, to be quite honest.
Let's be honest, Brad. A lot of it is, can I get a better offer somewhere else? I
agree with you there.
And it's Keaton says, by the way, if they still had the spring portal window, somebody like Rayshon Jones who comes in, enrolls, has a great spring, tears it up, and then in April could have theoretically been gone if somebody else realized they missed on him.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of things like that, right? It's just like it doesn't make sense to me. I don't think a freshman should be able to transfer right after their freshman season.
So they have to go stay at least 2 years at the same school.
2 years, I give them 1 year.
If you're leaving after one, you're leaving after your freshman year then.
But you got a full year of the institution, you got a full year of the season, right? And then you got a full year of the offseason. Because those two come in separate waves. Because once you get there in June, you have all of July, which is you're in meetings, you have walkthroughs, you got lifting, you got running, you got class, you got all that. Then you go into the season. The season is brutal, right? Then you end the season. They go home, okay? When you come back with that spring semester, it kind of like, hey, I'm going to get homesick again, but it kind of wears off. But now you have the off season. Now you got a true lifting cycle in the mornings. You got regular camp. You have a little bit more free time. Now you're meeting different people. You're getting out of it. And now you're coming, okay, I'm more than this than football. I'm more than basketball. This is actually in the community. Okay. I enjoy the community of Boise. Things like that. Now it's like, okay, why am I leaving them? Now I agree with you. Somebody's going to contact somebody and go, hey, contact him. We're going to give him $250,000. You got to make that determination. Right. But I would settle I'd go, okay, cool. I'll settle for a year because I still think you're going to save 2 or 3 guys. If you're making $50,000 and the school comes in and offers $250,000, the school that he's currently at has to make the decision. Is the young man good enough to give $250,000 to, or you say, hey, you know what? We're not going to match it. You better go. That's a school decision. But at least you have the shot, not coming in after 4 months saying, I'm out of here. Or I didn't start. Here's another one. I didn't start as a freshman, or I'm running number 3. Okay. Hey, dumbass. Who's in front of you? Well, there's 2 seniors in front of you. Okay. So when we sit down, we talk about spring ball. Who do we feel is going to be running with the ones? Who do we think is prepared to run with the ones? Who? You. So now go through spring ball as the 1. Compete. You're going to get competed against. I'm going to try to out-recruit you. I'm going to try to get our team better. But now you're going to spring ball. You're getting some taste with the ones, things like that. And now you see how they fit, and it's coming to the line. It's coming to light, right? Through the recruiting process, hey, this is where we see you fitting. This is where your skill set's going to fit in our offense or a defense, okay? But you have to look at big picture. And you should go over the depth chart before the kid even gets there and go, hey, we're recruiting you. You do have a couple of seniors in front of you. It's going to be a tough time to get in there. But with your development, we can play a little bit, hopefully save your year, and then we think you should be starting as your redshirt freshman year. Historically, if you start as a redshirt freshman at Boise State, you have a very long, successful career and have an opportunity to play in the National Football League.
But that also means other schools are going to come in, and like whether it's an Andrew Simpson or a Ty Benefield or whoever else. And
correct. But that's you're done with the freshman year.
Okay, what do you think about multiple year deals? And I don't know if contract's the right word, but they're and what do you think of if the contract is breached, so to speak? If you sign Maddox Madsen to a 2-year deal, and the second year Maddox Madsen goes to I don't know, Oregon State. Should Oregon State what do you think of buyouts? Should Boise State develop Ty Benefield for 3 years, got Ty Benefield to an NFL level, SEC level caliber safety? If LSU is now going to reap the benefits of Ty Benefield, should LSU have to pay any kind of fee to Boise State?
That's hard. My gut's telling me no.
Okay.
But my gut's telling me no. But I do
that's the problem with schools like Boise State. They're going to continue to build and develop these guys, and then their best year is going to be cashed in by another school that didn't have to do anything. I mean, it's just like, okay,
right.
we missed on that guy as a freshman. We'll get him as a junior.
But I also believe the type of a buyout in another term is we're ceasing payments to you. So we've just saved ourselves the spring semester in an NIL payment, right? So we're not giving you any more money.
Big picture-wise, Boise State would rather have Ty Benefield.
Correct, but you don't. So you don't have him. So now if I'm paying you, I don't know what he was making, let's just say $5,000 a month. Well, you're done. We're not paying you anymore. And not only that is you don't
$5,000 a month.
You better. Yeah, I know that, but it's easier math. You better get out. You don't have access to our weight room. You no longer have. If you have to do the spring semester, you don't have access to our our tutors. You don't have access to anything. You are no longer a Boise State athlete. You are a student at Boise State trying to get to LSU.
The problem is, and we're talking about, you look at the basketball side, Drew Fielder goes to Georgetown for 2 years, does his thing. Boise State finds him, brings him to Boise. He's an all Mountain West player, averages double figures, Boise State's best player. They pay him $300,000, whatever, 1 year. And he decides to go cash in $2+ million and right away bolts again for another he quote unquote uses Boise State to go from $300,000 to $2 million by increasing his value by having one good season at Boise State. Boise State did get the one good season, but they were hoping to build their team around him for next year. He decides, okay, I can go get 7 times what I got this year at Kentucky or Nebraska or Wisconsin or Purdue or somewhere next year. And Boise State's left thinking they had their starting center for next year, and all of a sudden they don't. And he also cashes in and basically used them for the year.
Yeah, that's a character flaw.
And unfortunately, that's another topic. But yes, I guess so. You're fine with the 5-5. You're fine with the one-time transfer, but the second time you got to sit out. Correct?
Yep.
Okay. A lot of that other stuff will probably get bought down, but I think that is probably the way to, or not bought down, fought down, in court and stuff. But I think those are two that actually possibly could have some life at some point here, because a lot of people have. I mean, Chris Peterson has been championing the 5-5 thing from back when he was a coach at Boise State. He's been pushing that for 20 years. Like, what? Why deal with red shirts and all this? But if you get hurt, whatever. Like, I think that takes away a lot of the medical red shirts and things like that. It's like you get 5 to play 5. If you're hurt for 2 if your whole quote red shirt year was hurt, you don't get the year back. Like, you get 5 to play 5. So it's not all that it seems. But I don't know if we need the 8th year guys playing, the 9th year guys playing. I mean. It would help some guys with the red shirt, but it would probably end up hurting some that do get hurt and lose the year. But it's like 5-5 would just be it. No waivers, no nothing. 5-5.
Agreed. But I think you can still have a medical aspect in there saying, okay, there was 5 for 5. You missed 2 years due to injury, documented injuries, surgical injuries. Okay. Then at the end of the 5, you petition for the 6, right? Now, you need to have a legitimate 6.
Did we lose you? Uh-oh. Is it just me, or is Brad pondering his thought there? He's got the hand up. He's pondering his thought. I think I'm not sure if that's my internet or Brad's. I'm guessing that's Brad's. So let's thank a few sponsors while we wait for Brad to get back. Lithia Ford of Boise, online at lithiafordboise.com. Our title sponsor, Bronco Nation News, could not be possible without Jim Sturk, Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out online, lithiafordboise.com. And somebody let me know in the chat if that's Brad or if that's...
It's me.
Okay, good. I needed to take a break anyway, so we'll get back to Brad here in a second. But Lithia Ford of Boise, online, lithiafordboise.com. Hey, Sun Cruiser, they got the new blueberry lemonade flavor at Sun Cruiser. It is awesome. You need to check it out. Sun Cruiser blueberry lemonade added to their flavor here, and they're now selling them in 12 packs. So they had the 8 packs previously. Now they're going to 12, and you can get Sun Cruiser at your local gas station or grocery store. Highly recommend Sun Cruiser. Hey, Pearson Carmichael back for another year. Boise State basketball, Idaho Central Credit Union, online, iccu.com. We'll talk more with Jay Tuss tomorrow about Pearson Carmichael's return, and we'll get much more basketball heavy on tomorrow's show with Jay Tuss, probably before or after, I'm not sure yet, with Boise State football practicing tomorrow. But ICCU, online, Idaho Central Credit Union, the best in the business, Idaho Central Credit Union. And you don't know what you're missing until you make the switch. Check them out, Idaho Central Credit Union. Hey, if you didn't win the lottery for Banana Ball, there's 2 opportunities thanks to Jackson's. Buy 2 body armor products, and right now it's buy one, get one for $1. Type in your Let's Go Rewards phone number, and you have a chance to win a trip to see Banana Ball play in either Eugene, Oregon, or in Boise. The Bananas themselves are going to be over at Ott Stadium against the Party Animals, or you can see the Tailgaters and Party Animals in Boise, and that is with Let's Go Rewards from Jackson's. Make sure you hit up our sponsor. We appreciate Jackson's. Hey, Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. The SOM Management Group, the Nicolason family, we appreciate Taco Bell for their support of Bronco Nation News, whether it's the Crispy Chicken Cantina Tacos, the Cantina Bowls, all the various breakfast items, including those quesadillas. Taco Bell. Check them out at Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today. We got both kids practicing at different ends of town, so tonight's probably going to be a Taco Bell night in the Raines family. Make it Taco Bell night for you guys as well. And find locations near you. Get more information on the Nicolason family at TacoBellWorks.com. And the Blue and Orange Store online, theblueandorange.store.com. If you need new Boise State gear, Jim Sturk and the whole crew at Lithia Ford of Boise, I know they shop at the Blue and Orange Store. All of our great sponsors shop at the Blue and Orange Store and support each other. But Travis Hawks, whether it's jerseys, bumper stickers, car flags, you name it. Travis Hawks and his crew at the Blue and Orange Store have you covered. The Blue and Orange Store online, theblueandorangestore.com. They have the location there at the Boise Town Square Mall, and they have the location at the Allen Noble Hall of Fame. You can get customized jerseys and things there. Again, the Blue and Orange Store online at theblueandorangestore.com. All right, Brad Bedell is with me. We've been talking transfer portal. We've been talking all kinds of different things in terms of rules and regulations and things like that. Again, the transfer portal opens tonight at midnight for basketball. We'll see what kind of movement there is, and we'll have much more basketball coverage on tomorrow's show. I would suspect the announcement today, maybe, whether it's AG NATO, maybe some other guys. You might get a lot of announcements today from schools on players that are staying, trying to lock those deals up before the portal opens tomorrow, but just keep an eye out for some of that maybe. And much more basketball talk tomorrow's show. But Brad, spring ball's going on. They got the first scrimmage on Saturday. I did cut you off, though. Did you have any final thoughts on what we were talking about? Or
this won't mean anything, and you can't derive a contract or a buyout until the players unionize and you get a collective bargaining agreement, period. So what you want to save college athletics? Have the players unionize. Now, all of a sudden, now they have a representative and a union president. You can see college football is going in a direction. It's made of ADs now. I know Mr. Dickey's a part of that. But now you have a governing body to represent the institutions. The NCAA is a complete joke. So they're dying on a hill, but they'll be fine. Just let them run basketball. I think they lost all credibility when you couldn't have cream cheese with a bagel, so they can eat it. So in my opinion, once you get a collective bargaining, now you can go in and really dive into it and have contracts and go, okay, yes, we have a buyout. Oh, by the way, you don't go to class, I can fine you $500. You don't graduate, I can fine you. I mean, you can set up a real thing, and now you're looking at big-time contracts. It's the way it is. I'm sorry. They want to get paid, and these young men, I think they deserve money, but there has to be a thing of going about doing it. And so I think that can also protect the student athlete in this. I am so tired of hearing behind like, oh, this kid's going to transfer here, and all of a sudden now the young man can't transfer there because the coach or that institution was so stupid. They didn't give percentage towards degree. And now they can't even get let in because they don't have enough percentage towards degree to fulfill and play the next season. I'm done with that too. So you can protect the players can be protected. Now they can really fight for the 5-for-5. They can really fight for buyouts. You can fight for the money. Now you also can go into structured contracts, and freshmen can't make over $50,000. And unless that comes under some lock and key, I think we're going to keep chasing our tail. And the only people that do not want this are the dirtbag street agents, period. They want to continue to make 20%. National Football League, those agents make 3%. 20% on off the field deals, according to the last CBI I was part of.
There's a lot of things you probably miss about coaching, but having to deal with agents now, and this whole thing is probably one you don't.
It's amazing when you can sit down and have an honest conversation with somebody about. And if an agent ever went to me and says, well, he deserves $100,000, I go, are you kidding me? And $100,000? The guy played 2 snaps last year. He didn't get $100,000. Well, I can find him, then ship him off. I don't know what to tell you. Just you can't tell me he's worth $100,000 when he can barely make a crack a lineup on a sub 500 team that we're going into. So don't give me that. Shut up. It just doesn't make sense to me. The other thing is with the CBA is now, like the National Football League, those agents got to be certified. They have to actually know what they're talking about. There's a guy in Florida. Player was paying him $7,500 to be his NIL representative, and he was a coach on the staff. How is that protecting a kid? Right? How is protecting the kid that a person that you and I both know was getting Boise State athletes out of horrendous contracts that guys were making 20 to 25% of their money? Come on. This is not – you can protect both sides. Let's not talk about how it's just going to protect the university. We need to protect these young men and women that know nothing about business, that know nothing of what they're getting into. And you have leeches taking advantage of them. That's what bothers me the most.
Yeah. Well, I can tell.
Because at the end of the day, coaches take care of kids, period. You take care of kids and you win. That's your job. Your job is to, 1, take care of kids, 2, win. And that is a culture that has thrived over time. And it's going to free up a lot of time for coaches and get their kids better. And now all of a sudden, now the school's going to have to manipulate. You're going to have to get lawyers involved. It's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just until then, you're going to be chasing your tail. Have a collective bargaining agreement. Just get it in there, let them unionize, and go to the table and go, you know what? Okay, we're only going to do 10 spring practice days. Cool. No problem. Got it. Fall camp. We only want to have 1 live padded scrimmage. Okay. The only thing that you really got to investigate is the difference between the National Football League and college football is developmental. You have to find a mean in the middle to have young men develop. Because in the NFL, you're throwing on full pads the first day. You're having 9-on-7 because you're a professional athlete and you should be able to know how to play the game. College, you need to have some things that help the developmental. There's a reason the NFL, if you look at the NFL season week 1 through 4, it's horrible. There's holdings because they don't hit anymore. So that's I'm a firm believer in collective bargaining. Let the players unionize. It will protect both sides. And I think you will see a better college athlete experience for all parts. And you're not going to have all this.
Yeah. I got no issues with that. Brad, we don't have a ton of time left. I do want to touch on spring ball, and we're talking to Stacy Collins today. We'll be talking to him at 11 o'clock, special teams linebackers coach. Special teams 2 years ago, we're not – they brought in Stacy Collins a couple years ago to fix special teams. They were not great. Remember costing the game against Oregon with the returns and some of that. A lot of emphasis put on special teams coming into last year. They weren't great again, frankly. While we were talking, I just jotted down some numbers. 95th in kickoff return, 124th in opponent's kickoff return, 113th in punt return, 103rd in field goal percentage, 55th in punting. If you do want one thing they were good at, they were 19th in kickoffs in terms of yards on kickoffs and touchbacks. But just not any explosive plays. It's 2 years in a row, really, where there's no explosive plays in the return game, not getting a lot of return yardage in the punt game or the kick return game. No return touchdowns the last couple of years, I believe. Stacy Collins, has done great things. Special teams guru, went to Penn State, and now came back. And they talked about this spring, a lot more emphasis on special teams. We'll talk to Stacy about that. But Spencer said more walkthroughs for special teams, more meetings, and we're trying to do things differently in spring to really focus on special teams. But what's your take on special teams and Stacy Collins and where you see that and in spring, what you can really do? And when it's 2 years in a row where it's been kind of subpar, I mean, what kind of, I don't say pressure, because obviously Spencer said numerous times last year that he believes in Stacy Collins and what they're doing. But what do you think in just terms of the microscope that's going to be on special teams this year?
It's a microscope. I mean, it's how is the kickoff return going to be able to gain one extra first down? It's how is special teams going to change a field position through punt? Or punt return, I'm sorry. Now, the kickoff return's interesting. That statistic's interesting. I'm not, and I'd have to dive into it.
They're 95th. They're averaging 19.15 yards per return is where they rank it.
19.5. What was their, and I don't know Boise State's average field start was after those returns.
They had 26 returns, 498 yards, 19, and then that was no touchdowns. So, yeah, I know they can look that up, starting field position. I know our friend Nathan Carroll has all the analytical numbers. But this is just average on the attempts that you decided to bring out. How many yards did you get? They averaged 19, and to compare it, Virginia led the country 32 yards per return. Tennessee had 30.36. So the top teams in the country on average were getting about 13, 14 more yards than Boise State per return.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing is, and you go back to your question, how can that happen? Your fundamental on the front line of kickoff is vital. And that's one thing that I think that they're working on it, trust me. I mean, just because of the drop point, the different alignments that they're doing on kickoff now, the motions they're doing on kickoff now, the 6-4 alignments they're doing on kickoff now. I think IDing blocking assignments on the move, just things like that are really that can really improve it. But I think fundamental blocking in that front line is vital. And that's hard. That is really hard. And it takes a lot of trust. The other thing is if you're looking, let's say they had on every return they had, they averaged at the 19. I don't know. I'm just throwing the number out. Start fair catching it. Put the ball in the 25 every time. I know it doesn't sound very good, but I don't know. I believe
why they actually want less returns, right? That's why they changed the rule to put it out further.
Correct. I think Stacy's a really good football coach. I've always said that. I continue to believe in that 110%, in my opinion. But I think anything in spring that I was a part of, remember at Boise, I was the O-line guy. So I wasn't involved. I sent the O-linemen that were a part of the wedge on punt. I said, you guys go. When I got to Auburn, I had to do a lot of special teams. And I learned a lot in a year just and a lot of respect, to be quite honest with you, about the special teams coach and everything that goes into it. And so I think there's a core fundamental way of doing special teams and just in blocking it and having young men trust the fact that you got to sprint back, get to the drop zone, gather your feet, find an attack. It's hard, but I believe in Stacy, the fundamental way he does. It's not like they're not out of whack schematically. It's lane integrity. That's the other thing is lane integrity. We can go back to Oregon. It's lane integrity. He talked about that. It's lane integrity on kickoff, right? Well, if you want to improve your kickoff number or want to do everything, get a kicker that's going to kick out of the end zone every time. That's recruiting, period. Punting, that punting's interesting because the Aussie that left for Oregon, that 1 year he was unbelievable hang time wise. Look at the kickoff, look at the punt return or their punt numbers, right? And so I think you need to identify the punter and hang time and getting your coverage down there. And then the other thing is releasing off of the block, and IDing who's coming and things like that I think he does a great job of. It's just you can't have the line drives anymore, man. You can't have the punter. You want to force the fair catch. And so I think that's probably what they're working on fundamentally wise. Schematically, if they had gave up 6 block punts every year or the kicker didn't get the yips at the start of the year that happened last year, which they did. I just don't. That's just one thing. That's a core fundamental. That means you're not fundamentally, schematically, you're not right. I don't see that. I see possibly some fundamental issues that they're probably working on. I would be shocked if he said they weren't.
And I assume spring's a big time for that. Anything else? Scrimmage 1 on Saturday. They've already done some live in practice 3. They went live some. They're doing a lot of live, a lot of team reps, getting some of the backups some work. But what they're practicing today or tomorrow, and then Thursday, and then they'll have a scrimmage on Saturday. Scrimmage 1, and that'll be about halfway through camp, close to it. I know it's spring, so in the large scheme of things, it's not a huge deal. A lot of guys are out. I get it, but a lot of newcomers. But what's the emphasis on scrimmage 1? What are you hoping to get out of that in spring?
Well, number one, you want to see turnovers, right? Like, okay, are we attacking the ball? Ball carriers, the fumbling, things like that. The other thing is, and it's wild as it happens every year, is when they finally start to go live, O-linemen go crazy and they get out of the fundamentals a little bit. They get a little too jacked up. So you got to play within yourself and look at the fundamental aspect of football. And you want to see overall physical play. It's live. You want to go. The other thing is it makes them operate, right? So when you go live and you get off the field, now the players got to run it. The coaches aren't in the back anymore. You've been at plenty of practices back for years. How many times have you seen non-live situations? Where are the coaches? They're right behind there and they're yelling at the wide receivers. No, you're +1 off the hash. You're +1 off the hash, especially younger kids.
I saw Tim Keene run faster than I've seen maybe him ever run after a play in the practice the other day to say something left tackle right after the play.
Correct.
He's right behind him. He just ran right to him.
Right. When you go live, the players got to work it out on their own. And that's the greatest thing about it is get the coaches off. Players got to work it out on their own. I mean, you can't be there for a game, so you can't babysit them. And then that's the other thing is when you get into the film and go, okay, now I want to see how you respond after the mistake. Instead of me, Coach Keene running over there saying, hey, this is what you did wrong, yada, 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 yada. Well, now, wait a minute. What's the next play? Next play, it was really good. Okay, he's shut the play off. He can move on. But next play bad, next play bad, next play bad. You have a problem. That means he can't shake anything. And if you can't shake anything, oh boy, you're chasing your tail on that young man. Now you got to get him in your office and talk about his process, pre-snap, post-snap, and all that, and then try to improve in that, or he ain't going to win a job. He's going to be standing right next to me with a clipboard chalking plays because I can't trust him. Can't trust him, can't play him.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So scrimmage 1, then they'll have another scrimmage 2, I believe. Then they have the spring game on the 25th.
Not really a scrimmage.
All right, live periods. Yeah. Live periods.
Yeah.
And we hope to do a post-game show over at the James there, Brad, if that's something you're interested in.
Oh, cool.
No pregame, but we might try to do something post-game out on the patio if it's nice weather. It's, 2 weeks later than it usually is, so be lighter a little bit later. We can have a little happy hour beverage or two over at the James maybe and talk about wrapping up spring.
Yeah, I mean, the spring is just it's reps, and it's like a bank, right? You're just putting reps in the bank, and then you go to summer. And then you're going to find out who you want. And what you're trying to generate is the competition for the guys coming back, and get them a little stressed. Don't let them sitting in a lawn chair drinking a nice sun cruiser by the river and say, you know what, I got this thing on lockdown. I just need to get back in the summer. No, you want them to say, man, he had a good spring. I better get my butt going or I'm going to lose my job. That's what you want. I make the guys that, and they can't play for a reason. I'm not trying to hustle them back on the field to create more injury. I'm not saying that. I want them to feel uncomfortable saying, if I do not get going and I do not step in August and get going, I'm going to lose my job because he had that good of a spring. That's what you want. You want to develop that competition and that stress on the returner thinking, oh my man, I better not lose my job. I better get going. Hopefully that's happening.
Well, we're talking to Stacy Collins at 11, and then I think I know your answer on this, Brad. Doesn't seem like something that might be your cup of tea, but I'll be locked in this afternoon to the NASA mission. They're approaching the moon this afternoon. They're going to go around the moon, furthest time away from the Earth ever for humans, and they're going to do their pass behind the moon. And the science behind this is just, if you really think about it, like how fast they're going and hitting a moving target and how they time this thing to just pass right in front of the moon and go around it as it's moving this way and they're moving this way. And I've done some research on it. I'm not necessarily a science guy, but I think Netflix is live streaming this for free today. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere. It's going to be on all the stations. Like, I think about 4 to 5 p.m. is when the good stuff's actually going to happen. But I think it's pretty cool. I mean, in 2 years, if this all goes well, Brad, 2027, like next summer, they're going to go to the moon maybe and actually land on the moon. I mean, this is a
Oh, they didn't land on the moon the first time. Are you one of those conspiracy theory guys?
I didn't say land for the first time. I just said land on the moon. No, come on now. Of course they landed on the moon. But Apollo 13, 50 years ago, everyone's seen the movie. They're doing the same kind of thing, going around the moon, slingshotting back. But if this all goes well, they're going to try to land on the moon again next summer, I believe it is. I think it's pretty cool. I'll be watching it, might turn it on for my kids before baseball practice tonight. Hope it all goes well. But to think about the science, and if you think about how fast they're moving and timing this perfectly and going right as close as they're going to be to the moon, I think it's pretty cool.
No, I agree with you. We watched, as a family, we watched the liftoff. Things like that.
You couldn't pay me $10 million to do it.
Oh, you $10 million, you wouldn't go there.
No,
for $10 million.
There is no amount of money. There is nothing you could do. Though, if I'd have to do nothing but just sit and over on the side and let them do all the work in the capsule and just do this trip, just sitting there hanging out, no chance.
Are you serious? For $10 million?
You would do it?
do it for $2 million.
I mean, there'd be some weight requirements for both of us that they'd have to probably figure out.
I'd fail immediately, so that I don't have to worry about that one. And 2, I would take up most of the capsules, so I'm out. But if they're telling me I'll pay you $10 million just to hang out, I'd be like, cool. Do you guys allow Coors Light? I mean, do we allow beer?
They already said the toilet was broken, Brad. That might not work for you.
Oh, yeah, that'd be an issue, but I don't know. I could do it for that. That's awesome.
No chance. No, I just can't imagine what it's like as the Earth's getting further and further away, and you're just going off into, what was that movie with George Clooney where he got untethered or whatever? I forget what it was.
I don't know. But
BSU Bronco says baseball, hockey, and moon landing talk today. This is the insight we're looking for from Brad.
Baseball, there's so many games. Who cares? Hockey.
No, these are the topics we've discussed today. You're bringing it today with some very hardcore topics. We've kind of been all over the place.
Well, the other thing is I'm not smart enough to figure out how they do all that moon stuff. So you know what I mean? Now it's just fascinating. There's people that are smart. I mean, they're smart. They're smarter than me. And
I mean, they're going 1,126 miles per hour right now. And they're 16,000 miles from the moon, and they're 246,000. They're almost a quarter of a million miles away. They're 246,000 miles away from Earth.
And you know what they're talking about in that capsule? I wonder how Boise State football is doing in spring ball.
They might be. Maybe so. They got some time to kill.
They're worried about the portal in basketball come here at midnight because they're hoping their team doesn't lose.
I think they're actually either sleeping or about to wake up or just woke up. I think their sleep schedule. I told you I was watching some channel last night, and I kind of got hooked, and now I'm kind of hooked into all this. So hope it goes well. Like I said, I know it's a nerdy thing, whatever, but if you actually think about the science of how fast the moon's going, how fast they're going, and how they're going to pull this off to literally, it's not just like the moon's sitting there and they're going straight for it. It's rotating, they're rotating. It's going to be pretty, if they can pull it off, it's going to be pretty cool.
Well, it's fascinating for us because I don't know how old you are. I'm old enough. The last time we really saw something like this happen was Challenger. And we knew how that one turned out.
Yep.
I'll never forget the grade. Mrs. Burkhalter was the teacher, and we watched it live. So this is why it's for people my age or older. That's why they're probably a little more invested, because we've seen the tragedy of this too.
Yep. And everyone makes such a, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and walking on the moon and all that. And like I said, they're testing stuff. They're doing stuff. This is a precursor to hopefully that happening again, landing on the moon, and who knows what that could lead to, and other planets and everything else down. I mean, this is a pretty historic thing if they can get to that. So hopefully it goes well. I'll be watching. It's going to be cool. They are wanting, real quick, Brad, since we're going off the rails here, that since you can throw anything at Brad and he's got a thought on it. Thoughts on the World Cup? They want to know.
They play soccer.
Competitive arm wrestling. Any thoughts on? Oh, maybe that's what they're talking about.
Awesome, because sometimes those guys sheer force, they break a forearm, and the sound of that is unbelievable.
Any thoughts on curling?
Probably a great beer sport. I don't know if it's competitive enough.
Do you have any stock tips?
Have a guy. Don't worry about it. But yeah,
sumo wrestling.
Awesome, unbelievable core sense of balance.
So they're big time athletes.
Yeah, at 500 pounds.
I was trying to get out of here and end the show, and then Joel Schneider throws a real question at us. You got 20 seconds to answer this, Brad. But Joel, we appreciate you watching and for the comment here on Twitter. Thoughts on a hiring window for coaches like the NFL?
I think leave it to Joel. That's actually a very good idea. That's a good idea. Now that they've changed the portal window, now I think that's actually a pretty decent idea. And then the other thing is maybe some of these coaches won't just hire their buddies and then fire them all after year one. But yeah, I think that's actually a viable point. And 2, it'll help maybe your kids staying in the portal rather than dragging it out.
Coincidentally, both teams in the national championship staffs untouched.
Only if it goes to OC to OC, O-line to O-line. But I think if you can ever evaluate as a position coach to a coordinator spot or a coordinator spot to a head coaching spot, just like the NFL, they should allow it to happen.
Have you had the chicken cantina taco from Taco Bell? If you haven't, you're missing out, dude. It's really good.
I have. It's delicious because I like it with their avocado sauce.
There you go. How are you at Papa Shot?
Absolutely bortle because I'm a terrible basketball player.
Cornhole.
Phenomenal. It is one of the greatest beer pastime games invented.
I could see that happening out there in your little street party.
Oh, yeah.
All right, this is getting off the rails. I'm going to end this.
It's like
here.
pool and bowling. Bowling, great beer sport.
Huh. Usually when you take your kids and it's like cosmic bowling, you turn the lights off or whatever, I could see you going to Big Al's or something and getting a big old beer.
Multiple pitchers.
Okay. How about that? Michigan or UConn? Who do you got in the championship tonight?
Michigan.
Did you even know it was happening? Will you even turn it on?
Oh, I'll watch it.
Okay.
I grew up a Michigan fan. So.
What'd you think of Gino Auriemma going off on Don Staley at the end of the game the other night and going off on the refs in the interview?
I think he's used to winning and he doesn't lose. He's a crybaby bitch.
Does Brad use the finger holes when bowling?
I do, but sometimes if the thumb isn't big enough, I go thumb out, not to put that in any other term.
Oh, I should have ended this 5 minutes ago. Oh, man. Wow. All right, Brad. Well, we appreciate you. This is why I pay you, man. I think we should literally just have a show at one point where when spring ball's over, where we can just ask Brad anything or something. It might be better for like one of our after dark shows, at 9 p.m. or something. But
yeah, but that's when I usually get in trouble.
I'm ignoring the comments. All right,
yeah. See ya. Have a good day.
Oh, appreciate it, Brad. Have a good one, man. Talk to you next week.
All right. See ya.
Brad Bedell, best in the business. Wow. I'm
all right. How am I gonna
Oh man, love Brad. Always appreciate him for coming on. Love all of our great sponsors as well. That includes Matt Bauscher. Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, Matt's your guy. Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate. Hey, Signature Roofing, if you need a roof, Signature Roofing has you covered. Speakpipe.com/BNN. Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades, one roof at a time, whether it's a re-roof, whether it's a repair to a roof, whether it's an inspection on a roof, whether it's an estimate, they got you covered. All your roofing needs. Signature Roofing, online, mysignatureroofing.com, and you can leave a voicemail, speakpipe.com/BNN. That is brought to you by Signature Roofing. Hey, if you need a fence, how about Element Fencing? 631-2790, Element Fencing. You can check them out at elementfencing.com. Whether it's decks, pergolas, they can do those as well. Cedar, wrought iron, vinyl, 20-plus years, 25-plus years for Brady and his staff in the fencing business. And they're ready to help you build that perfect project from the ground up. If you're on the fence about that fencing project, check out Element Fencing. Ridley's Family Markets, shop ridleys.com, 13 locations in the state of Idaho, surrounding states as well. Love Ridley's. You can get some Sun Cruisers down there. Love the Kuna location. They have that location in McCall as well. So if you don't want to go to the corporate conglomerates, Ridley's Family Markets can help you out. Nice hometown grocery store. Support local folks, support and think Ridley's Family Markets. Hey, rowpaint.com. Interior, exterior painting, concrete coatings, and of course that Painter for a Day project. All your painting needs. That Painter for a Day, you supply the paint, they supply the painter, and they'll, whatever in the allotted time, you can get whatever you can get done there. If you got some walls you need to touch up or different things. We've had the concrete coatings done twice on our house. Highly, highly recommend it, folks. If you have that painting project you've thought about doing, now's the time. Hit up rowpaint.com. Transportation compliance service. If you need a new job, TCS has you covered. Transportation Compliance Service. Check them out. Transportation Compliance Service, local company helping out folks all over the world get into the trucking industry. And if you're looking to get a new job, fresh start, they got you covered. Transportation Compliance Service, all the paperwork and everything else you need. They got you covered at Transportation Compliance Service. All right, appreciate Brad Bedell for coming on. Appreciate all of you guys as well. I'll check the comments here, but the Ask Brad show. All right, bought a Bauscher home 3 weeks ago. Love it. All right, Bronco 130. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing that and supporting the sponsors. Matt Bauscher and his team do a tremendous job every step of the way. The customer service unmatched if you're buying or selling a home. So happy to hear that. Appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm sure you were happy, as you said, love it. And always great to hear folks supporting the sponsors. And that includes Bauscher Real Estate. Do as the Raines family did. Buy and sell your home with Matt Bauscher at BauscherRealEstate.com. BNN bowling night. That could be fun. There you go. Robbie, yeah. I mentioned it earlier, no golf tournament this year, but we're trying to come up with the happy hour event or something else that we can still do. Didn't have bowling night on the list, but now that we know Bedell is such a big fan of bowling, maybe that's something we're going to have to consider here. So appreciate you guys. We're going to go talk to Stacey Collins. Pearson Carmichael, didn't get a chance to talk much about that, but Pearson Carmichael is back. What does that mean for Boise State? You can go find out. You can find that out at BroncoNationNews.com. Nathan Carroll has a full article up right now. BroncoNationNews.com. It's up right now. You can read about Pearson Carmichael returning, what that means for Boise State, and all kinds of football, basketball coverage. We, I'm biased, obviously, but I don't think you're going to find better coverage anywhere else, whether it's our interviews, our shows, our stories, our analysis, our opinions. BroncoNationNews.com. And with the transfer portal opening tomorrow, I think there's a 50% offer right now that's going to go to 60% tomorrow. So 60% off Bronco Nation News starting tomorrow. Now's the perfect time to subscribe. BroncoNationNews.com. Again, go on there, get your analysis on Pearson Carmichael returning. There'll be some other basketball content coming as well with the transfer portal opening tonight at midnight. So go subscribe now, the perfect time, whether it's spring football coverage, whether it's basketball news. We got you covered at BroncoNationNews.com. Chris also has some stuff up there on the recruiting trail as well. Caught in with a couple prospects, so ahead of some visits coming up. So appreciate you guys. Go subscribe. Check out the message boards. A lot of great content there at BroncoNationNews.com, part of the 24/7 sports family. And we'll see what news today breaks. We're going down to interview Stacey Collins. And as I said, we'll get that posted to YouTube, and then whatever other Boise State announcements, roster moves, whatever happens on the basketball side, we'll have you covered today and the near future. And then tomorrow, they do have practice at 9:30 tomorrow. Not sure on the time. Jay Tust and I will do a show tomorrow, but I got to figure out the time. It might be at 11 at the end of practice, so we might go 11 o'clock tomorrow. We'll let you know on social media. I'll tweet it out. We'll get that taken care of when we get the exact time. I'll let you know about that tomorrow. So have a great day. Go check out and subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. All kinds of coverage coming throughout the day. And yeah, that was a fun show. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you for that. And appreciate all of you for watching. Appreciate all of our sponsors. Sun Cruiser, go get a Sun Cruiser. They're our studio sponsor, and we appreciate Sun Cruiser for their support of Bronco Nation News. And, of course, our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise. LithiaFordBoise.com. New, pre-owned. You need that vehicle. Now's the time. Make it a Ford. Make it Lithia Ford of Boise. Jim Sturk and his staff ready to help you out. Some great deals going on right now. Check out their full inventory of vehicles online at LithiaFordBoise.com or check out their showroom right there on Fairview Avenue in Boise. We'll talk to you guys later. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Go subscribe. Bronco Nation News. BroncoNationNews.com.